right, guys, we are live on the air with none other than Cali High World. How you doing tonight, brother?
Man, I'm doing good. Hi, that dope.
Ah, that's what's up, man. So I have to ask, man, what made you decide to get into the music industry?
What'd you say?
Sorry, what made you decide to get into the music industry?
Oh man, honestly, uh, I'm gonna have to take this time to say that my mom Dukes, she introduced me to music. Like she was the first one that gave me my music program at like 14, and ever since then, I just ran with that. Like real shit, I just ran with it. So, Mom Dukes, if you listening, I owe this one to you. Real talk.
That's what's up, man. So also, you are also a producer. How did you get that role, and what projects have you produced?
Alright, so when I started off, I was just producing. I wasn't really rapping or none of that. I was kind of like the behind the scenes dude. So I would set up the projects, do the track list, do the mixing and mastering and all that. And one of my dudes, Feasible to Germ, who's out in Washington, he was like, "Yo," he scoped through my notebook. He was like, "Man, you could really rap." So we did a track called Same Scenario. We dropped it. We performed it in Seattle. We performed it in Barstow, California. We did it in front of Rapper Forte. And then after that, I just took off with it. So the projects that I produced was the Germ Volume 1 on his project, Germ Volume 2. I also tapped in with Mob House Music Volume 1. I did Smoking for Beats, which was my solo beat project, 1 and 2. Both of those was on Bandcamp. And then after that, I kind of went MIA for a little bit, so I just did a little bit of here and there for local artists who was trying to build their name up, build their fan base up and stuff like that.
Hey, man, that sounds like you did a lot of projects, man. I have to ask, where are these projects available that our listeners can take a look at them and actually give them a listen?
Okay, yeah, they on CD Baby, Bandcamp, Reverb Nation, SoundCloud. Of course, you got, dang, I'm trying to remember them all. This is way before Facebook got popping, so of course, Bandcamp, CD Baby, man, all of them. And it was a couple of joints that I did. So White Widow, also did some shit with who else? Did shit with my boy, little young dude, Laze. His mixtape, I orchestrated that. Mob House, that was me and Victor Six joint. We both was producers and we both orchestrated that, and we set that up from top to bottom. So yeah, after that, April 2020, y'all be ready because Darkness Equate Pain is about to drop.
I have to also ask, man, the name Cali High World, how did you get that stage name?
Honestly, alright, so the high world is pretty much like elevating the game. Like pretty much elevating your raps, elevating your production, elevating yourself as an artist. So when I say high world, I'm talking about everybody that's, of course, in this world. And as us, as artists, composers, producers, artists, recorded artists, rappers, we always looking for progression, and we always trying to progress to the next step. So High World came about when I was in Cali, and I was looking at myself as a solo artist, and I was going through the whole trials and tribulations of if I want to be just a producer or be a rapper. And I said, you know what? I'm going to call this High World because I want everybody to elevate, which is progress to that next level. Because we all dope. But I want everybody to get to that next level where we both get our proper dues and our proper shine. So Cali came from Cali 4-5 originally, but a long time ago, artists also had Cali's 4-5, so I dropped the 4-5 and I just kept Cali, and then I added the High World because I created High World, and then it just took off like that.
I have to say, man, for the record, that is a very inspirational name just in itself. This description you gave of your name is a very inspirational just vibe to that name, man. You know, I love asking that question because whether you're a famous artist or an underground artist, there's always a really unique story behind the name of the individual. So that's really cool, man.
Right.
Also, you mentioned to me via email that you were a part of a rap group called Mob House Music. How did that come to be, and what made you decide to go solo?
Okay, so Mob House consisted of me, Victor Slick, Toxic, Laze, and the way it came about was Victor Slick knew a guy who kind of had some A&R experience named Cedric. So him and Victor Slick used to do a lot of work in Washington State. And me and Victor Slick knew each other for about almost 20 years. So when I moved out here to Texas, we linked back up. He was in Duncanville. I was out in Arlington. And we started working on me and his project. Originally, the project was supposed to be called Smoke and Mirrors, which was starring me and him. After that, he met a young dude named Laze, who at the time was about 16 years old, a young little cat. So Toxic was a little kid up the street from Cedric, and we linked up, and we got in the studio. We built the studio up. All we had was a shed, an AC vent, a microphone, a recorder, a keyboard, Fruit Loops, of course, a couple of laptops, microphones, and we just locked in. And we was like, you know what, we gonna call this Mob House, because we was treating it like it was the house, and we was mob because we was all together, but we all had different styles. Laze had the younger generation style. Me and Vic had the experience, the veteran style. Toxic, he also had the young generation style, but he was, kind of like a twisted style with his flow. So we just combined together, and we just did it like that. So Mob House Volume 1, we recorded it in like a month and a half. And originally it was 32 tracks, but we mixed it down to about 17. And then the remainder was going to be like an extra, just like a side B project.
I have to ask as well, man. The disbandment. If you don't mind me asking, what happened to the group? Where is everybody else now?
Well, from my knowledge, Laze is still recording. Toxic is still recording. Victor Slick, he went up in Washington because he also do clothing as well. So he does music and clothing. He signed with something different, and he kind of became their go-to guy for clothing and music. And me, I'm still out here in Texas. I moved from Fort Worth to Arlington, and I kind of made Arlington my home base. And ever since then, I kind of been working on my solo project. And what made me go solo was I was listening to all the music I produced it, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to sell my music because I'm low-key selfish because I like my music, so I'm going to start writing to it. And ever since I started writing to it, I came with Darkness Equates Pain, Volume 1, Volume 2, How I Got 1, How I Got 2, How I Got 3, the High World series, the Slap Dot series, and all that stuff is going to be released in the next couple of years.
So, before we move on, one last question I have with the Mob House music group. I have to ask, do you ever think that maybe one day you guys will reunite, make like one more collaboration album together?
Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. There's been some talks in the works. We're all in different locations. Laze is in Joshua, Texas, which is probably about 40 minutes away. Toxic is about also 40 minutes away. Victor's in Washington State, and I'm down here in Arlington, so I'm able to reach Latte and Toxic. And me and Victor, since we got so much history, we've been talking about coming back together and dropping one more. And when the timing is right, I'm not gonna lie to you, you're gonna be the first one to know.
Hey man,
and you're probably gonna get one. You're probably gonna get one in your inbox for sure, for sure.
Hey man, you know what? If you guys ever do a reunion as well, and you guys want that worldwide exposure, come on over to me, man. I would love to interview all four of you guys.
Oh man, I got you. No, say less. I got you.
So I also have to ask, in 2017, you performed at the Villa Lounge for an event called Touch the Mic. What was that experience like, and do you have any up-and-coming shows?
Well, when I did Touch the Mic, at that time, I didn't have no manager. I didn't have no street team. It was just me and my wife. And I honestly went to different studios, got different, mix downs and everything, sounds and everything, engineering. So when I did Touch the Mic, it wasn't judged. It was just pretty much a showcase of everybody that was local and statewide. So when I went up on stage, I was pretty much the odd man out because I'm originally not from the state. So it wasn't no biases. They just didn't know who I was. But after I got done with my set, they liked my music. A couple of local artists, we networked, we quicked up. We talked music and we talked music business. We did music 101. We talked about mixing and mastering, production, composition. And for future projects, future shows, what's on the table right now is I got Addison, Texas in the books. I got Dallas in the books. And there's talks of overseas once more. And I'm trying to go over to Seoul, Korea.
Man, when you said Dallas, that's going to be a really huge show. Dallas is a very, very big city. So I figured that's going to bring you most definitely a lot of exposure for sure.
Honestly, not to cut you off, Dallas, Fort Worth, DFW Alliance in general has a lot of talent. And it's a lot of people. Like, there's Jay with the AK, there's Mr. I Really Write, it's so many people to name that I know, not just off on the internet, but I met them in person, watched them perform, watched them, control the stage, watch them interact with people, watch them, promote themselves, and it's a lot of talent. I'm not going to lie. Dallas, definitely, next to Houston, in my book, next to Houston and Austin, is one of the hubs if you want to get your name recognized.
So, also, you have a lot of inspiration inside of yourself and inside of your music. So my next question is, what are your biggest inspirations behind your music and your work ethic? What is your biggest inspirations, brother?
Well, my biggest inspiration, besides my family, my mom, of course, and of course my music, is I got artists like Tool, Gorillaz, Daft Punk, Rakim. You got Currency, of course, J. Cole. You have E40. You have Mac Dre. You have Jacka. You have Rakim. You have Zero. You have Trader Truth. Nipsey, of course. Like, the list goes on. So when I study these people's projects from top to bottom and bottom to top, I take in the fact that they trackless flows from top to bottom, and that makes me elevate more because I want my projects to flow from top to bottom. So as soon as the listener puts it in their CD or they download it or they listen to it, they are able to stay in tune with what I'm saying.
You know what? That's some great inspiration right there, brother. I gotta ask. So what are some great advice that you would give to other artists that are inspiring to come into this industry?
Honestly, I knew you was gonna ask that, and I was thinking about that all day. What I would suggest to any artist that's trying to get into this business is first learn that it's a business. You have to promote yourself. You have to brand yourself, any shape or form, regardless of if it's 1 view or if it's 10,000 views or if it's 100,000 views. Brand yourself, promote yourself, put your project out. Make sure you're satisfied with your project after it's completed. After it's completed, perform as much as possible. Touch base with everybody, not just in your local scene, in your state scene. Reach out to different areas. Interact with different genres. I got stuff that I made where I made with a rock band and I made with electronica band. Reach out to different genres because that expands your music more. And you're not just succumb to a one-dimensional style. You're able to adapt to any type of style. After that, network. Link up with people who know the music business, who have their best interest for your career. Not just trying to just hear your music and then just let it play out. No, who really is genuinely concerned with your music, who really has their, how can I say this, their energy for your music. They're going to treat your music like it's theirs. They're going to promote it. They're going to showcase it. They're going to be there in front. They're going to videotape it. They're going to record it. They're going to promote it. They're going to share it to everybody that they know. And you're going to do the same. And also, learn. No question is a dumb question. So if you don't know about promoting, it's okay. If you don't know about recording, it's okay. If you don't know about mixing and mastering, it's okay. If you haven't never produced, it's okay. Experience. Just try it. Do what you can.
You know, that's some great advice. That really is. That is most definitely some very inspirational and great advice. And I have to ask, directly after this interview, I'm going to be playing your track called Don't Fade Me. What's the inspiration behind that, and could you tell our listeners the meaning behind it? That way when they listen to it, whether it's live or off the air, they could actually hear your meaning behind this track.
Okay. Well, the way Don't Fade Me came about, it was actually it's kind of like a dark concept. So at that time I was going through, life, going through family issues, financial issues, and stuff like that. And I looked at it as like, if I could go through all that and still stand and still be able to joke around, play around, and enjoy my family, enjoy my time on life, that stuff don't fade me. So it was kind of like a rebellious fuck you to the rest of the world. So when the world counts you out, you stand up and you be like, you know what? No matter what you throw at me, I'm still here. So that's what Don't Fade Me was about. That's why when these people hear Don't Fade Me, they're going to hear the energy. They're going to hear the passion. They're going to hear the struggle. They're going to hear the hunger. They're going to hear, the energy. They're going to hear the aggression. They're going to hear everything because it's a whole lot of passion and energy into it. Because I really sat back and I listened to the beat for like 3 days straight. Like, I played everything else, and then I went right back to that from top to bottom and replayed it and replayed it. And I looked at my verses and I said, you know what, that's not good enough. I want to showcase what I really feel. And that's why that track came out like that.
So you know what, listeners? We're going to be getting into that track directly after this interview, so don't go away. We're going to hear Cali High World, Don't Fade Me, right here, right after the interview. And this is the time during the interview, Cali, that I have our people that come on the show a chance to give their thanks or give their family or friends or colleagues a shout out, and also your social media handles. That way our listeners can follow you if they're not already doing that.
Okay. Well, on Facebook, everybody can follow me on my actual government name, which is Marcus Antoine Banks. On Twitter, it's Cali High World. On Instagram, it's Cali High World. And y'all can follow me on those channels. And y'all can watch out for everything that I post. Video clips, snippets of up-and-coming tracks. I got a track with Yoda, which is a guy from Arkansas who just recently moved out in Arlington about 2 years. And we're working on a project right now. So y'all look out for that. Y'all tap in. Y'all give me feedback. Trust me. Any criticism, constructive or not, I accept it all because that's what makes me better.
That's what's up, Cali. I want to say, man, thank you so much for coming up on Outlaw Radio Live. You have yourself a wonderful night, brother. God bless. And, yeah, man, most definitely keep in touch.
Also, by the way, man, make sure everybody who's tapped in, follow my man, DJ Immortal, and follow my man, Outlaw Radio Live, on all social media. I'm talking about Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Because he's giving people like me a chance to showcase our talent. So y'all need to follow him. I'm talking about producers, rappers, it don't matter. Tap in with him, set up a time in the day, make sure y'all get yourself out there because he's giving y'all exposure.
Hey, man, I want to say for that, man, thank you so much, man. Like, honestly, that's what I do with this show, man. I don't make no money off this show. I just do it to help individuals like yourself get your name out there, man, because I used to do music, and I know what it feels like to have everybody not look at you, man. You know, song submission after song submission, they look at you, and they just say, no, I don't want rap, I want to be that guy to be like, okay, you got some real music, let's go. And I want to say thank you for that, man. That's my goal.
All right. And let me do my artist thing. Shout out to, of course, my mom, Sally Garrett. Shout out to my sister, Letitia. Shout out to, of course, my wife, the little ones. Because balancing, you know, music and fatherhood is already a tough act. And shout out to, of course, you know, Dota Don. You got guys like Jay with the AK. You got guys like Feasible Churn. There's so many people. And make sure y'all tap into the show right now. I'm talking about right now. After the show ends, y'all need to hit this man's inbox and get y'all set up. And, of course, shout out to, of course, the family back home, California, of course, grandma, cousins, uncles, nieces, nephews. Man, I could go on for days, man. Like, for real. It's so surreal because everybody's really been supportive, and that's why I made that status recently about having people who genuinely care about you and genuinely support you. That's what makes you, you know, go further.
And that is very much true, man. I want to say, Cali, thank you so much for coming up on Outlaw Radio Live, man. I appreciate the love and all the support that you've given my broadcasting station. So for that, I thank you, bro.
I appreciate it, man. And then don't worry, I'm gonna be on this show a lot more. Trust me, we got a lot of plans in 2020.
Oh, most definitely. My DM is always open for you, brother. Have yourself a wonderful night.
You too, brother, and you stay safe. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye now. All right, guys, without further ado, here it is. Cali High World, Don't Fade Me on Outlaw Radio Live.
You ever been knocked down? Well, this is what it's like to stand your ass up. My nigga, get your ass up. You ever been knocked down? Well, this is what it's like to stand your ass up. My nigga, get your ass up. let this talk speak for itself. No need for a wishing well, I think it, I receive it. Dream zone through hell, that's a happy place, so I get treated like an infidel, and everything is dressed right. Officer Chippendale, a band on my hoodie while I'm moving in my chucks. A ticket for live music, like Brody, what the fuck? Well, it's FTW and it's really FTW, and with these Raider L's, I still play for W's and pray for W's, but my evil came outside, face to face, look of death, aiming with a bullseye. Luckily, I was prepared with a sharpened mind. I say this as I rise. This shit don't fade me. Go ahead and let them hate. It really don't matter what they say. This shit don't fade me. They just talking anyways, and they ain't gonna do a fucking thing. This shit don't fade me. And the devil is a lie. The good ones never really die. This shit don't fade me. We come back then, multiply, subtract all the bullshit, conquer and divide. The stargazer looking past comment impacted comments. All this gossip mad nonsense, my nigga stop it. Let it ride at least one time, now let me breathe one time. Out on my out and down, pocket full of lint day shots getting fired, no bullet wounds, it's just a graze. Wipe that shit off and keep the game back in motion. Every defeat brings a ring, so now who's the dopest? I'm too outspoken, cause I think too much. I never go to sleep, I worry hard too much. Hit the gym daily, trying to build my mind in shape. They gon' throw dirt on you when you die anyways, but that shit don't fade me. Go ahead and let them hate. It really don't matter what they say. This shit don't fade me. They just talking anyways, and they ain't gonna do a fucking thing. This shit don't fade me. And the devil is a lie. The good ones never really die. This shit don't fade me. We come back then, multiply, subtract all the bullshit, conquer and divide. You listening to the bastard child who can stand tall in front of the devil's eyes. Tell him fuck you and still walk away on live, cold shoulder. Pardon my back and excuse my stride. Windows to the soul, see nothing but rebellion in my eyes. Truth with these highway lines, flicking ashes. The hardest, boldest, coldest anthem for a high savage. Matters will become an equal with sadness. Will have you pushing away your destiny when you're new. You could grasp the seam. The fact is my talk is unheard and not welcome. But thank you for downplaying it straight dumbing. Something ain't right and we in need for a change. Shooters wanna snipe down big dreams all day. But that shit don't fade me. Go ahead and let them hate. It really don't matter what they say. This shit don't fade me. They just talking anyways, and they ain't gonna do a fucking thing. This shit don't fade me. And the devil is a lie. The good ones never really die. The shit don't fade me. We come back then, multiply, subtract all the bullshit, conquer and divide. Don't fade me. Go ahead and let them hate. It really don't matter what they say. The shit don't fade me. They just talking anyways, and they ain't gonna do a fucking thing. The shit don't fade me. And the devil is a lie. The good ones never really die. The shit don't fade me. We come back then, multiply, subtract all the bullshit, conquer and divide.